Welcome to In Brief, where I always strive to be concise and precise with my advice. Today, procrastination, why it's bad, why we do it, and how to stop. I specialized in procrastination in school. Papers were written after anything. Exercising, cleaning. I'd look up after organizing my coin collection at an immaculate bedroom, 11 p.m. the night before. Time to start that pesky paper. The more complicated or important the task, the greater the urge to avoid it. Why couldn't I control myself? I was intelligent. I always aced exams. Maybe I just needed to mature. Surely I'd grow out of this. This was partly true. Experience and perspective improve decision making. Yet my struggles endure. This is my second video. I planned to start it months ago. Only I didn't. Once I faced this, questions emerged. Where did the time go? Why did I do this? Or rather, why didn't I do this? Procrastination is stressful, destructive, and ubiquitous. Everyone struggles to know what to focus on. Even harder is actually doing it. Procrastination is a manifestation of this tendency towards suboptimal decision-making. Still, we should seek to minimize it. There are escapes from this self-imposed morass. Start with the problem. I'm delaying making a video. Why? I either don't know what to do, how to do it, what will happen once I do, or simply don't like making videos. Think back on your own procrastination. These were likely the cause. Few enjoy the unknown. Not knowing where to start, figuring out what needs doing can be overwhelming. Much easier to put it off. Tasks with many moving parts, like YouTube videos, exacerbate this. My first video was supposed to be animated and on the news of January 2018. Beyond that, I had no clue. I told myself I'd start after figuring everything out. Never gonna happen. Think of this issue like a road trip. You can't plan every turn beforehand. Sure, you have some ideas. Start in San Diego. And in Seattle. Swing through Vegas and Yosemite. But the rest of the trip? Just a grand haze. It's no big deal. You won't starve. Things become self-evident as you go. It's pointless to delay for months debating details. How to avoid this? List what is needed before starting. Then everything else you know. If the project is complex, there will be unknowns. If they don't matter immediately, ignore them. The project is a road. Follow it. The bends become obvious as they rise from the horizon. In the case of the video, I could have started by researching news stories and writing the script. The countless unknowns were daunting, but dwelling on uncertainties with so much to be done today was silly. Once moving, the haze of the unknown begins lifting. Everything comes into focus, and the horizon comes into view, but not until you're moving. Most people avoid learning new things like the plague. Routines, like simplicity, are attractive, and novel tasks, like complex ones, are avoided. The learning curve can feel like a cliff that should really be climbed later. Even with the drive to learn, you may study hard for years, never getting to the real project. Skill development is notorious for this. Learning to paint, program, or speak Spanish, determining how, can be a permanent impediment to progress. In our video example, spending months on research and courses, learning to write scripts or animate is justifiable. It could make the video better and the work go faster. Yet it also delays the production, slowing down progress and preventing the rapid learning that comes from doing. The solution to this problem is more ambiguous than the first. Often you must learn things before doing. But this could be a rapid and productive process, or it could not be. Start by limiting the time to research and identify the fundamental skills necessary for the task. Next, develop these skills by actively producing the thing you want to end up making. In my case, this was a video, but it could be playing guitar, swimming, or algebra. Figure out the skills involved, practice those skills, then do the thing you're striving toward. Don't read a dozen books about the guitar before you pick one up. The consequences of failure can also compel us to delay. Knowing what to do and how to do it doesn't prevent this, and the greater the stakes, the more likely it is. I used to work in Korea. When I applied for the job, even with friends walking me through it, the fear of rejection was hard to ignore. This is normal, but unhelpful. I first thought about my odds of success and how delaying impacted these. In this case, even if hired, I could be assigned anywhere in Korea. Avoiding placement in some remote mountain village depended on getting hired fast. This highlighted the value of rapid action. Students face this with exams all the time. In hard classes, they're likely to fail. Studying reminds them of the impending doom. Combat this by remembering that the odds of passing the exam drop every day studying is deferred. Learning takes time. Early and often beats late and intense. If the benefits of acting early aren't enough, try thinking through the possible outcomes explicitly. The consequences of failure get blown out of proportion in our minds, and it's hard to act when failure seems like the end of the world. If my video bombed, no one would watch it. If I didn't get that job, I'd still live in the States. Having a girl reject you or failing chemistry won't even register as important in a few years. Hold on to that. The last and simplest reason for avoiding something is that you don't like doing it. It's obvious. If you don't like doing something, you won't do it. It's why trash isn't taken out, bedrooms aren't clean, and everyone's out of shape. Have a gym membership but never go? You know what to do, how to do it, and desire the outcomes. But that's just not enough. It's almost beyond procrastination. Some things are put off forever. Overcoming this can be helped in a similar way to the previous problem, by noting that chores are easier to do sooner rather than later. But this isn't game-changing. It's more useful to build habits and associations with more enjoyable tasks. Need to do the dishes? Do it while listening to podcasts. Want to work out? End it with a soak in the jacuzzi. Putting off learning to fly? Make a bet with a friend. Whoever learns second has to pay for both of your lessons. Our lack of intrinsic motivation can be mitigated by levering up extrinsic motivation. So when we struggle with procrastination, we're really struggling with not knowing what to do, how to do it, what will happen once we finish, or not liking the task. We can overcome these hurdles by acting on what we do know, breaking down what needs to be learned, remembering the limited consequences of failure, or associating the tasks with things we like doing. We control this. The economy, politics, climate change, they're bigger, but this we control. Sometimes projects will confront us with multiple hurdles. We might have to learn things, not know what will happen after, and hate doing it to begin with. There will inevitably be wrinkles and complications unforeseen. Approach it systematically. Think about the challenges, identify the causes, and address them accordingly. Avoiding them does nothing. Find the edges of the hurdle before you. If you can't clear it, walk around. Understanding is half the battle. We have the capacity to change. We do it daily. Let's try to change more today so we don't have to tomorrow. My name's John. This has been In Brief. Subscribe over here. See that first video I was putting off over here. And please, for your sake, don't forget to think.